Listen, let's talk about how to ensure everything's coming up roses to supersize and grow your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, Supersize Your Business, and our idiom, our expression today is everything's coming up roses. That's the rose shirt, rose cup, the rose cheeks, and the rose personality, I hope. So where does this idiom and expression come from? It's a relatively new expression. It came about in the 1950s in a Broadway musical called Gypsy. And Ethel Merman actually performed the very first version. I'm sure it came out in more than one version. She didn't look up the history of the Broadway musical itself, but she was the first one to sing this song that talked about everything's coming up roses. And it was written by Jules Stein, very famous person back in the day, songwriter with Stephen Sondheim, and they created a lot of Broadway musicals. And the song said something to the effect, and I'm going to look it up so I don't mess it up. Magnifying glass, please. Things look swell, things look great, gonna have the whole world on a plate. Starting here, starting now, honey, everything's coming up roses. And that was, of course, performed by Ethel Merman. But what does that mean? What does that have to do with our business? It means that things are turning out well. Things are going to turn out all right. It means that something that appears not so good on the surface ends up actually turning out to be good, turns out to be okay. So what for your business, for example, is turning out well right now? What's working in your business right now? We want to be grateful for the things that are working so we can create more of them. It's kind of a universal law. If we focus on what's good, what's right, what's working, we'll get more of that. If we focus on what's bad, what's negative, what's not working, we'll create more of that for our business as well as for our life. So in spite of COVID is the question I usually pose to the people that I work with. What's working right now? Let's look at that. Let's build on our strengths and determine whether we have to do anything about the areas that we're weak in or not. Because a lot of times we don't. We just have to build on our strengths, provide what we can for the people we serve, and that will be enough to help us grow and supersize and create the business that we want. So how do you look on the bright side? How do you personally find the bright side of any type of situation? How do you be optimistic? How do you stay focused on the positive? How do you set the example for the people in your organization or the people that you interact with on a regular basis so that they know how they should behave as well with respect to building and growing and helping you and being involved in your business? Because we set the tone and the pace for our organizations. If we want a slow and steady pace, we set that pace. If we want a quick moving pace, we set the pace by setting the example. So I found a while ago, it's probably been a week or so now, an article about 9 things that super successful people say to other people. They just automatically say these things. They are part of their nature. They're part of who they are. It's not like they make these up and just choose to say these. Although seeing a list like this, it allows us the opportunity to ask ourselves, am I doing these things? Am I automatically setting the example and the leadership for my organization by using these phrases, by behaving in this way? I'm just going to tell you the list, and you can do a little self-evaluation, a little self-quiz and say, do I ever say this? Have I said this? Am I known for saying this? Is this how people see me, and is this what they can expect from me? And then we can do a little self-analysis on whether we are setting the example we want for our people or not. Again, I didn't make up this list. I just thought it was a really good list. So what are the 9 things that super successful people say to other people? And I would say success is always defined by the individual. It's defined by you for your organization. It's also defined by, I think, leaders need to be successful. Well, that's just my opinion. So what are these things? Number 1, I admire you. You admire and see the good in other people. Number 2, you can do it. Do you ever say you can do it? To yourself or to other people? Number 3, I value you. I see the value. Thank you for your contribution. Appreciating other people for what they bring to the table and to your organization. Number 4, you can count on me. Do people know that you're there to help and support them to create and do their job better with respect to growing and supersizing the business? Number 5, I believe in you. People need to know that you not only approve of them, but you actually believe in them and their capability of doing what it is that you're asking them to do. Number 6, you are kind. Look for kindness in yourself and in others. Number 7, I trust you. I trust you, meaning I don't micromanage you. I trust you to do the thing that you were hired to do the thing that you're on our team for. Number 8, you are smart, meaning that, you have faith in people, you believe in them, you trust them, you treat them with dignity and respect. And number 9, I'm sorry. Leaders and successful people, when they screw up, and guess what? We're all human, so we screw up sometimes, are absolutely positively, sincerely able to say they're sorry and then go about making it right. So that's just a quick and dirty list of things you can ask yourself. Do I use those phrases? Do I say those things? Do I indicate those things to people, the meaning behind them, whether I actually say those phrases or not? I thought that was kind of a valuable thing to add to Everything's Coming Up Roses, because if we don't know how we can set the example for other people, then we look for answers outside of ourselves. We look for answers inside of ourselves. We look for answers and things that can help us to be the person we want to be, to create the organization we want to create. So I'd love it people would share in the comments below. You don't have to share if you do all those things or not, but if you would share, what are you doing right now, given that we're coming and dealing with a lot of things still from COVID and our businesses? What are you doing right now to stay optimistic, to stay positive? What do you do as a personal practice or as a business practice? A lot of businesses are doing really cool and fun things nowadays to stay focused on the solutions, focused on the positive. Love to hear some of the things that you're doing as well. That's it. Have an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. Another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? How can you use it to grow and supersize your business right now? Take care. Any questions, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow.